in Spain, of course, because it arrived back from the Middle East, and he said he had no time. He had to come straight to Spain to get it done. This man, the Lithuanian, is absolutely on it, as always this weekend, as Benediktas Cirba comes flying in. Been so close to success in the past, but never made it there. Always had that last-minute glitch, that last-minute issue, but it looks like there's no issues right now for Benediktas Cirba as he puts foot to floor, picks up that inner zone and across the line. That's clean from Benediktas Cirba.
Yeah, a very, very experienced driver.
Out the big guns right now as Benediktas Cirba comes off the line. This incredible 2JZ E92 BMW, fresh back from the Middle East just a few days ago. And Cirba looking a little wavy there as he struggles to get that car on power. Now finds it into the groove, into the outside zone. On the line he goes down. Does Cirba absolutely flawless at the moment. Looking good, dials on the angle, picks up that inner, and now these guys are really in the zone.
Yeah, he worried me a little bit when he got onto the rumble strips in outside zone 4 because you are jumping
through the start line they go, sorry, no chicane anymore, through the gears, down. As Laurie Heinen, big clutch kick, flicks that 180SX to angle. But there's no chance that Cirba's going to let him get away, and almost takes a back bumper off the back end of that S13 as he now makes another dive. And Cirba knows he can rely on the finished driver to push it to the limit. And look at the angle from Laurie Heinen as he absolutely throws caution to the wind and puts the car right where it needs to be and across the line. They get the green light, and Cirba breaks that beam, and we get all clear, ready to send. Through the gears goes Benediktas Cirba as he flicks that E92 across the circuit. Heinen with a big clutch kick. Oh, and a shallow wobble there from both guys, and almost impact as Laurie Heinen absolutely backs that car in, rear wheel to rear wheel. They both flick on angle. It's scrappy from both at the moment. Oh, and then come down, contact.
So, okay, very interesting.
He said, yeah, I love the technical tracks. Well, a man that we know loves to put this car on the wall. Up next, it is the one and only Benediktas Cirba from Lithuania, fires in this incredible BMW E92. Look at that, locks the brake up. Cirba does well at these stadium, these tight tracks. Another driver that thrives in these environments. What can he do this weekend? Oh, and the car shuts down. Oh, man.
Yeah, you can
still unsure of what the issue was with the Cirba fighter, the BMW E92 carbon Kevlar. As he fires through, no such issue so far on initiation, gets it back into that car, into that zone. Now, can he make it through past where it shut down last time? Carries big angle into that inner zone. It's going to pay off for him, though, as he flicks that car into outside zone 4. Now, down the hill he comes. Big angle, big speed from Cirba as he avoids those white lines, flicks it through that zone. One more zone to go as Cirba puts it to the wall and across the line.
Yeah, tons of angle, just going lock to lock between the zones.
Trying to get Cirba looks for that start line, gets the green light to go, and he's through the gears and down onto that start line. And look at this from Kavir. He goes for that straight line approach as they fire in almost door to door as Cirba gets himself into that second outside zone and makes it work. But look at this from Kavir, super aggressive onto the door. Look at this, mirroring the angle, mirroring everything, almost bumper to bumper contact. They make it work, and Kavir has to back out. Cirba not too deep into that outside zone 4 as they pick up the pace down the hill. A little wobble, a little bump from both guys as they flick it into that second to last outside zone, and Kavir means business, but no guy now can get up the hill.
Yeah, this is getting really, really interesting. I mean, Tony Kavir.
These guys now are starting to get mixed conditions, though. It's going to be patchy out there, and for me, the question mark is that final outside zone as we see Kavir now fire in this S13. They both get it door to door as they get into this second outside zone. And look at this from Cirba, shallowing up the angle, just nosing the front of that BMW to the front wheel of that Nissan 200SX as they fire through that inner zone. No contact, no mistakes there. But look at this from Kavir. He's deeper into that outside zone 4 than Cirba was as they come down the hill. And look at the pace already. But can he hang on to it? He can. He goes super wide, but puts it into that zone. Can he get up the bank? Can he get up to the wall? He can as they go door to door. This year that he's ever driven before. He was in the Middle East at the beginning of the year. He's doing 2 championships. He's doing the local championship in Lithuania. He's doing the Baltic Championship, which covers all of the Baltic states. And now he's here at Drift Masters, firing through in this beautiful E92 2JZ 1,000 horsepower as Cirba holds on, and it's scrappy so far from the Lithuanian. And he gets himself into this long outside zone. Making it work, though, is Cirba as he tries now to balance that car. No such mistakes there as he puts the back end towards the wall into this zone, trying to get nice and deep. looking comfortable as he once again goes for the wall, flicks it to angle, looks for the final zone and across the line.
Getting that speed dialed, coming down the chute, over the hill.
Slams the Cirba fire into gear. This carbon Kevlar E92 BMW 2JZ underneath the bonnet. Through the gears comes Cirba as he comes down for a big clutch kick to initiation. Nice angle. Look at the way he positions that car. And it's a good line so far from Cirba. Keeps it on the tarmac as the Lithuanian doing triple duty this year. Multiple championships being driven, and this man doing well in all of them so far, but no success at Drift Masters in 2025. Oh, wow! Takes the GoPro off the back of the car, but flexes the carbon Kevlar. Cirba not messing around in his second qualifying run.
Yeah, it's always a good time when you're knocking, extra things off.
Oh, he's feeling it now.
Yeah.
Because now the goal is to get into top 16. We'll see how he gets on against a man from Lithuania that has a synonymous name for being one of the deadliest in the game at chase and lead. And look at this from Cirba as he flicks that carbon Kevlar E92 BMW in. Oh, and Olsen catches a whole bunch of understeer coming down the hill. Cirba gets himself back into it, back on throttle, back into the outside zone. Simon Olsen tries to get himself back into the mix. As Cirba fires the back end to the wall, pops the tailgate open, and now Simon Olsen starts to rein him in once again as they get it across the line.
Yeah, that's
here, see if he can't pull a fast one on Benediktas Cirba, but Cirba, man, knows his way around this circuit, that's for sure. Jumps onto the back bumper already on initiation, as Simon Olsen flicks that carbon Kevlar X15 to angle. No such issues this time for Simon Olsen. Oh, contact as Cirba hits the rear wheel and fires himself on the inside of the circuit. Simon Olsen keeps up, and this one is going to be a tough battle for the judges to decide, that's for sure. As Olsen puts the back bumper to the wall, Cirba gets himself back into the fight, jumps onto the door and pushes Olsen across the line.
Oh, it always gets spicy when you start to see these contacts because it will...
Lithuanian driver, been here multiple times, yet to stand on the podium, the top steppers. The king of Riga, and he would love nothing more. Look at that little dab of handbrake. He knows it, circuit, he knows it, he can trust it. Just about keeps the wheel in that outside zone. Very good transition there from Cirba. He's go right to the edge of the circuit as he fires through. Big angle from Cirba on throttle, but he's messed up that line into that outside zone. Now works the back end of that 92 into this long last outside zone. Makes it work as Cirba looks out the window, dials on the angle, puts the bumper to Benediktas Cirba from Lithuania, BMW E92 on the line, an 89.5. He's in 23rd position at the moment, 85.5, sorry. He fires that car in on full throttle. Nice line from the Lithuanian as he puts that car in. Needs to be, oh, that is a big flick, but he's put him in the wrong part. And he shallows off the angle massively. Oh, and he's up on the curb, flicking stones in the face of the media as he fires through, tries to recover some of this run. As Cirba went for that gangster 100-point run, but just couldn't pull it off as he puts the tail light towards the wall and across the line.
They refused to freak out at the end.
What to expect at this point?
No, I don't. But we're going to find out, that's for sure. Off the line, Conor Shanahan to lead out Benediktas Cirba as they slam through the gears down. Look for initiation. Nice early initiation from Shanahan. Big drag of the handbrake, set himself up that first outside zone. But look at Cirba onto the rear bumper, onto the door already as they fire through. Down, Cirba on the inside, has to shallow up the angle. Now starts to dial it back in, starts to hunt down the side of Shanahan's GT86 as they fire towards the wall. Clear pass at the moment, and you can look at this Cirba on the inside, has to readjust, has to get himself back into the pocket. Shanahan on the wall, attack, and almost a spin across the line.
Okay, contact but completion, so we're good. We're good.
There we go, on the line, ready to rock and roll. Benediktas Cirba from Lithuania leaves the line in that E92 BMW. Look at this from Shanahan, firing through the gears, and you can see him pedaling that GT86, trying to keep up with Cirba as they fire in. A mirror image initiation, perfect from both guys. They lost in the smoke as they fire down. An early transition from Shanahan puts him right into the pocket of Benediktas Cirba, but Cirba on a shallow line trying to find those outside zones as Shanahan now backs up a little bit, almost takes the front end off the car. Cirba risks it all against the wall, full throttle now, and Shanahan dives in on the door across the line.
How did Conor Shanahan save that? I thought Cirba
this weekend nothing more to put that Eurofighter on top of the podium. Well, here we go, off the line and through the gears. Kevin Pascoli to lead out Benediktas Cirba. Nice initiation from Pascoli. Clinical line, but drops a little bit out of our zone one. Now fires through, starts to pick up the pace and starts to drive away from Benediktas Cirba. Cirba caught in the smoke, goes for a big dive though, goes for the side of that E92 BMW as he fires back into this outside zone. A little bit too much angle there for Pascoli. Has to adjust and get himself back in that final outside zone and opens the door for Cirba.
Yeah, scrappy battle. Yeah. Definitely a scrappy battle. Both drivers
are chased down by Pascoli. Get chased down by Pascoli as he hammers through the gears. Cirba in full business mode, no messing around. Business out front, party out back as the Lithuanian throws it in, and he does exactly the same. Drops out of that first outside zone, fires it through. Out of the forest they come. Oh! Piscotty's wide. Piscotty's up onto the gravel. Can he hold on to it? And he's not. He's lost in a cloud of smoke as Benediktas Cirba now puts that car into the final outside zone, kisses the back bumper, the tail lights onto the wall, and Cirba absolutely smokes out Riga.
Wow, Cirba, did he completely just shake up his goal team?
Jack Shanahan pulled to the line though. He's been in this situation multiple times here in Riga. What can he do in that lead as he fires through the gears down to initiation? Jack Shanahan firing in that GT86 now starts to pull a big gap on Cirba already. Cirba shortcutting the outside zone as they fire through. Cirba starts to rein in Jack Shanahan as they fire in across the circuit. Down they come. A nice line from Jack Shanahan once again as Jack goes for that last outside zone. Cirba looking to find the door on that GT86. Can he get to the rear wheel? He certainly can as they go to the wall across the line.
Happy to get that, a run across the line, Ian. I'm so happy that...
Gear. Jack Shanahan ready to lead him out. They pop off the line with the green light through the gears. They go. As Jack Shanahan runs them down the gauntlet into initiation, flicks that car across the circuit. Little dab of the handbrake from Shanahan as he now fires the car to angle very deep. But Cirba goes way wide. He's on the inside and he shuts it down. Goes for a re-initiation, but Shanahan is up and gone. Big angle thrown on by Shanahan, but he misses the outside zone. Now gets himself into it as Shanahan puts foot to floor, drives away from Benediktas Cirba.
That was wild on both accounts because Jack had
We get him off and ready to go through the gears comes Benediktas Cirba to lead out Jack Shanahan as they hammer down and go for a big flick. And Shanahan goes for it a little earlier than Cirba. And Cirba fires away, starts to drive away from Jack Shanahan as he pops through the smoke. Shanahan now trying to rein in Benediktas Cirba as they go wide for the outside zone. Shanahan shortcuts the circuit. Cirba with a point to prove right now as he flicks that car to wall to wall. And there might be separation, but there's no shaking. Jack Shanahan is still in the fight as he puts it to the door now across the line.
Very, very interesting for a couple reasons. One,
scoring. The judges are looking for finer details. Lithuanian Benediktas Cirba from Vilnius. BMW 92 2JZ, 850 horsepower. Big, fast initiation. Flicks the tailgate up as Cirba stands on the foot brake, looks out the side window for the wall. Tries to find those outside zones. Another little tag off the wall for Benediktas Cirba as he now gets into outside zone 4. Dabs the foot brake, looking working the foot brake, pushing the back end in towards the wall, but not on it consistently. As Cirba goes for that outside zone 5. Picks up 6, looks for the final outside zone. Cirba right to the edge of the circuit and across the line.
Yeah, aggressive.
So much speed in Benediktas Cirba, they taped his visor close. Can't let the beast out. Here we go. Through the gears comes Benediktas Cirba as he flicks that car to angle. Down on the handbrake goes Cirba. Looks out the side window. Handbrakes again for outside zone 2. As Cirba now opens up the throttle, starts to connect the dots as he looks for outside zone 4. A nice line, a nice transition into that long outside zone 4 full throttle as he works his way through. Flicks the car, very snappy transition. Goes to that white line. Looks for that second to last outside zone. Collects it. Final zone coming up. And Cirba across the line. This man a whole host of trophies under his belt. 31 years of age, this man been around, a bit of a European OG in drifting as he fires that car in. Big aggressive initiation from Benediktas Cirba as he puts that yellow spoiler, the Cirba fighter spoiler, towards the wall as he now fires his way through. Very nice line. Cirba dabs the handbrake and sets himself up nicely for outside zone 4 on the throttle very, very early. Oh, and a little heavy tag onto the wall, just upsets the front wheels, but keeps himself in it as Benediktas Cirba now works his way across the circuit towards the wall once again. Cirba into outside zone 6, back on the throttle. Look at that, fully locked up. No problem finding angle though for Cirba as he looks out the window and across the line.
Yeah, his pedigree.
Everyone, we wouldn't be able to make this happen as we go off the line with Benediktas Cirba, and now Staff will leave the circuit, fires that car in. Will Cirba go for it? He looks like he is, and he puts that car where it needs to be. Back bumper towards the wall, picks up that first inside zone, picks up the second inside zone, puts the car back on the wall. Oh, and it's heavy, and it upsets the line from Cirba. Didn't expect to see that one coming, and Cirba will know inside the car that's a big mistake. Now he's going to drive angry. Cirba fires through. You can't even see him through the smoke as Cirba looks for the outside zone 6. He collects it. 7's coming up as he puts the car back towards the wall again and across the line.
Yeah, I mean, the old... This will be just another fun one.
It certainly will be, because the Lithuanian won't want to go down without a fight. We know that Cirba will want this one more than ever this weekend. And look at this as Cirba fires in on the door, and the Mustang almost makes contact. James Dean absolutely brilliant as always, but a big mistake there from Cirba as he has to shallow up the angle, almost straighten through that inner zone. They work their way round outside zone 4. Now Cirba gets himself back into formation, but it's beautiful from James Dean. But look at Cirba, absolutely glued to the front wheel and the door of that Ford Mustang. They get into outside zone 6. There's no shaking. The Lithuanian has now shallows up. Does James Dean? He dials on the angle for the final outside zone.
Oh, man, Cirba was just absolutely chomping at the bit through this entire run, and I mean, I do too.
Yes, good fun. Here we go, back on the line, ready to go. It's going to be Cirba to lead out James Dean as Dean slams through the gears in that Ford Mustang spec. DM fires into the outside zone. Cirba, strange line into that first outside zone, but look at Dean now, glued to the side, no messing around on that inner zone or that one. As they fire in to outside zone 4, Dean will not let the Lithuanian get away. Cirba on a brilliant line as he gets all of that zone fulfilled. He looks for outside zone 5 and it's fulfilled as Dean goes down the inside. Will he manage to make the dive? And he does. Backs off ever so slightly though as Cirba tags the wall, a little upset, but now Dean onto the door, repaying the favour and painting the side of that BMW.